welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another episode of Surviving Adulthood. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Hi, hello, I'm Rose. So as promised on my last video, which was the skincare, non-toxic skincare products, in this video I will be talking about deodorant, specifically the switch between the deodorants I was using before, which were Dove, Lady Speed Stick, and Secret, to Natural Deodorant. I'm going to talk about just my experience with natural deodorant in general. I've actually tried 2 so far, and then the majority of the video I'll be specifically talking about this baby right here. It is Schmidt's Rose and Vanilla Natural Deodorant. Alright, so first a little backstory about my whole experience with natural deodorant. So Schmidt's, or however you pronounce it, is actually not my first time trying natural deodorant. I actually tried it a few years ago. My church had an event where there was someone selling natural products. So I was like, you know what, let me try it. It wasn't too expensive. So I go home and I try it. The first few days, everything is fine. I'm like, you know, I don't see what the big thing was that everybody, you know, people had so many negative things to say about like natural deodorant. Some people said it didn't work. And so, you know, the first few days I was having a good experience. I'm like, I guess I must be lucky. So, you know, this could possibly be something that I could do. So come the 5th day, I feel like it was either the 4th or the 5th day, out of nowhere, okay, it was the middle of the night. It was, let's say, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and out of nowhere my armpits were just on fire. Like fire. I went to the bathroom, I put some cold water on it, and the pain and the burning sensation kind of just like subside. The next morning when I woke up, I was just like, oh my god, like, how can this lady sell me this? How can she be selling these things and we're promoting her, and her products are over here making my armpits just hot and irritating? So one day I just slid on her DMs and I was like, oh, by the way, like, the product that you gave me, I had a really bad reaction to it. I don't know like what's going on, and she just told me, you know, that happens sometimes to people that switch over to natural deodorant. But inside I was just like low-key I was just side-eyeing her like, no, miss, I think it's something that you're not doing right, or there's something wrong with your products that this is happening. Maybe like 6 to 8 weeks ago is when I began this whole process of swapping out my products for products that are better for me. And so I started using the deodorant. Again, same thing. The first 3 days I had no issues. It was on the 5th day, out of nowhere, a funk like no other came over me. I have never ever in my life smelled so bad, and thank God I was at home when this was going on, because I would have died of embarrassment if I was actually outside and somebody smelled me like that and they just thought like, oh, this is just how she be smelling. Like, no, I'm having a bad day. But I was home and I was just like, wow, just impressed at how badly I could smell, you know? So while this is going on, right, the first 3 days everything was fine, but I just started feeling a little bit of irritation. So I started doing my research, and I learned that apparently your armpits are super sensitive, and there's a whole process that happens when you switch over from the regular deodorants that we usually use to one that's natural, that doesn't have aluminum, doesn't have all those bad things for you. So according to the article that I read, which I will link in the description bar, it usually takes about a month for your body to adjust to natural deodorant. Within the first week, they said you should be fine. In the second week, there is an increase of bacteria that's growing under your armpits, and that's because in the deodorants that we normally use, like Dove and Secret and all those types of deodorants, they have these chemicals in them that basically when you swipe under your armpits to put on the deodorant, it kind of acts like plugs to A, keep you from sweating, and B, it kills the bacteria and it keeps you from being funky. So now that I was not using this anymore, the first I forgot to mention, the first like 2 days, there's just, my armpits were wet. I have never, and that day it was so hot, and I actually went to some event with my friend, and my armpits were so wet. They didn't stink, but they were wet. It wasn't until the 5th day that the funk came, and I was just like, wow, this is different. I was doing my research and I read, so I knew this was this could happen. And I also read that a way to combat all these things is, of course, to take more showers so that you're washing all the excess bacteria that's coming under your armpits, and then also to buy an antifungal, antimicrobial bar of soap, which is what I did. I will put a picture and link, get you that information just in case you're interested in switching over. So I bought that. So the day that the funk came, I just was scrubbing under my armpits like, oh my god, like this can't be my life, this cannot be my life. So that day, it was like a Saturday morning and I had to go to church, and I knew I was going to be at church all day, and I was just like, Lord Jesus, let not your child be funky, okay? Let not your child be funky, be out here in these streets and people just, you know, side-eyeing me. So I went to church and I smelled a little, okay? It wasn't as bad as the night before, but I wasn't as fresh as I usually am. So I was just like, oh wow, like I don't know about this, like I might have to go back. So later on that day, that would make it, let's say, like the 8th day. So the 5th and the 6th day I smelled. Let's say the 7th day. The 7th day, there was no, like, all the funk and everything was completely gone. And my body just started, I guess, getting adjusted to the deodorant. I wasn't sweating anymore. Like, I started sweating basically like normal. How I was sweating with the other deodorants I was using, which is not very much. And then the deodorant also started to just block, I guess, kill all those bacteria, and the funk was gone. Everything was fine, and I was just like, okay, I can get with it. 15th or 16th day, like 2 weeks in, I noticed that my armpits did get darker. It didn't get dramatically darker, but it did get darker. And then also what I noticed is that the more you put on, the different your body will act differently depending on the amount of deodorant that you put on. In the past, the other deodorants I was using, like, I would OD with deodorant. Like, this is just what I do. I OD with stuff, you know. I don't want to smell, so I was ODing with it. This one, you can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta follow directions. You gotta find just the right amount that works for you. Because there was one day I put too much, and I promise you, it felt like my armpits were shrinking, and they were going to shrink and shrink until they burst. Cause it was just that same irritated, raw feeling, and then it didn't smell, but it wasn't fresh. Let's take a fan break. I feel like it's time for a fan break. Same irritated feeling, and so the next day I didn't use as much, and by that I mean I didn't use enough, and that day I smelled. But from then on, it really has not been what I read it to be. I thought it was going to take my body like a month to adjust. It did not. I feel like within the first 2 weeks my body already adjusted. Like, not even the first 2 weeks, within the first week my body adjusted. I do want to say that around the same time that I started using natural deodorant, I did start the vegan diet. So I wasn't eating any meat, any dairy. So I think that also helped, as well as the bar of soap, the antimicrobial, antifungal bar of soap that I was using under my armpits. I think both of those things help make the transition easier. Like I said, I smelled for like 3 days, not in a row, like 3 random days I felt the funk. There was one day that it was just like, the smell was so impressive because I've never smelled that bad before, you know. But other than that, it's been a good transition. What I like about this, it does have a like nice soft powdery smell. It also leaves your armpits really soft. Like, I'll randomly just touch my armpits and my armpits feel like it has powder on it. Like, it just leaves your armpits really swell. So I'll give you guys some information about this. So this deodorant, this natural deodorant, has no aluminum, no propylene glycol, and no artificial fragrance. It neutralizes odor and absorbs wetness. This is 2.65 ounces. I will give you guys the price of it. The ingredients, the first ingredient, it says Marenta arundinacea powder. That is arrowroot, sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. So this definitely has baking soda, and that is the ingredient that irritated my armpits, both when I tried natural deodorant the first time and my first few times using this when I put it onto my sidebar. Let me tell you something. Okay, so I'm thick, right? I'm thick. I have thick thighs. My thighs rub together. So in the summertime, I feel so weird saying that out loud. So in the summertime, I do like to put deodorant, not powder, but deodorant in my inner thigh, like in the crease between my vagina and my thigh. I like to do that because I want to be fresh. The whole rubbing of your legs together when it's hot, it can cause irritation in your skin. So what I was doing in the beginning is I would use this under my armpits, and then I would also put it in the crease of my thighs. Don't do that. I mean, you can try to do that. It definitely did not work for me. My inner thighs became so irritated that any fabric, like when I was wearing pants, any fabric that would touch it, it would hurt so bad. I ended up ordering this thing from Amazon. It is Fine Vime Super Balm. It's a powerful natural antimicrobial antiseptic. It treats fungus, bacteria, and skin infections. It controls itching and inflammation. It has tea tree oil, eucalyptus oil, lavender oil, and some other oils. So I started using this in my inner thigh because my skin was so irritated, but this works so well. Like, I used it like in the middle of a night when my skin was irritated. It was like Wednesday, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then by the morning my skin was back to normal. So this is definitely helpful. I've been using it in my inner thigh, and also I've been using it on my temples. I don't know if you guys remembered, recently there was a story that came out where Regina Hall said that Tiffany Haddish told her, it's like telephone game, told her that she can put what's that vagina infection, monostat, I don't know, the vagina infection cream thing on her head. I'm not trying to do that because I don't know, the ingredients are kind of crazy. So I actually bought this to put on my edges because it kind of does the same thing that cream does. The ingredient in that cream that's causing people's hair to grow is just an antifungal, antibacterial ingredient, and since this is, the entire thing is antimicrobial and antifungal, I thought that it would work, and I feel like it's been working so far, but it's been just a few weeks, so you know, I still don't know as of yet. That was my entire experience switching to natural deodorant. It's specifically my experience using the first natural deodorant and this one right here. I would recommend it. It's not gonna kill you. I feel like it's worth trying if you did want to switch over. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know, let me see, let me know, I don't know, let me know something down below, okay? My next video is going to be me trying out natural makeup, so if you're interested in that, then definitely come back to this channel. Don't forget, I upload every Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time right here on Surviving Adulthood. Peace. Do you guys see? Do you see the sweat? Do you see? Yo, my seat is so wet with sweat.